So Mr. Nelson's going to take over from here and talk a little bit about his classes that he teaches and some things that we try to instill in the students while they're with us.
Okay, so this first look here is from the American Association of Colleges and Universities, and it was just a list of top 10 things that employers, all employers, not just engineering or STEM employers, but employers in general, we're looking for in new college graduates. And you see working in teams, science and technology, thinking about and solving complex problems, analyzing problems, solving problems, numbers and statistics, right? So really this program is just a great program to boost, general problem solving ability, ACT scores, math scores. It's just it's a good program. A lot of our students will go into engineering. Some will decide to go another direction, and we know that. We just feel like it's a good program for college prep in general. Okay. So I mentioned we're very engaged with tech, have been for some time, and these are just a kind of a list of the undergraduate degrees that are at tech. Obviously, our students don't have to go to tech. They may decide to go to LSU or A&M or whatever they decide. We're just very, very much supportive of tech. They're very supportive of us, and we work with them in a lot of different areas. But yeah, our program is aimed at helping students start to think about engineering too, and about maybe what field they might want to go into. I know when I got to Louisiana Tech, fresh out of high school, they asked me what I wanted to do, and I honestly had no clue. I didn't get to do these kinds of things at my high school back in the day. And I was good at math, and they said, well, we need electrical engineers. And I said, okay, I'll be an electrical engineer. And about 4.5, 5 years later, I was done. So we'd like our students to have a better idea of, what are all these fields of engineering, and what field might I be interested in. I highlighted instrumentation and control systems. We've started a new program this year. We piloted it. Louisiana Tech worked with Louisiana Delta Community College, and it's over in northwest Louisiana, northeast. They worked with us to build this course, and it's a neat little course I'll tell you about here in a minute, but just an example of where we're working with Louisiana Tech to try to make sure we have really good curriculum for our students.
This was just again the 4-year kind of plan, and you're going to go into the.
Yeah, let me talk about that. Yeah, I'll use this chart for a minute too. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, so Project Lead the Way covers the first 2 years, and we highly recommend that students come in and do that and get that foundation. And then after that, the options that they're looking at, we have it's a program through Amazon Future Engineers, called Programming 1 Python. At least that's the curriculum we're using for that programming, and that's a course that if students have that interest in programming, gives them a really solid foundation in learning programming, and so that's a good option for junior, senior year, whatever works for the student and for their scheduling. We're also looking at adding computer networking, which may be a possibility if a student wants to get maybe some more hands-on into computer technology and networking. That could be a possibility. And then the course I mentioned, I'll talk a little bit more about it, the electrical and instrumentation technology course. Gets into circuits and programming, and provides really kind of a wide range of career options for students to think about. And you notice the picture of the little microcontroller there. That's the Arduino microcontroller, and that is the setup that all freshman engineers at Louisiana Tech get when they show up at Louisiana Tech. They get a kit, they get that microcontroller, and they use it for their first 3 freshman engineering courses. And so we like to be able to give them a leg up where they walk in and they've already been playing with that microcontroller. They've hooked up circuits, they've programmed it, and they're at the top of the class when they walk in. So it's a neat course to take for a student that is headed off to college. Right before they go, they're going to build some skills that they can use right away. Again, stop us and ask questions if you got them. So the electrical technology programs, I added in here just to let you know, we've got a full range from electrician, right? An electrician is very hands-on job, very much in a high demand, all the way through instrumentation and control, also very high demand. And students could look at 2-year kind of a degree in instrumentation or a 4-year degree, depending on how far they want to take it, how much they're into the math and the technology versus more of the hands-on getting out there and doing it. I really got excited about the instrumentation program. I think if I had seen it back when I was in college, I might have gone this direction, because it's doing the stuff that I think is really fun. It's programming microcontrollers, it's controlling things, it's sensing things. And so you get a fair amount of theory, but it's a lot of hands-on too. So real interesting program that I'll give you a little bit more information on it. Electrician, while we're here, we're looking at a couple of things. We're working with IBEW to bring some initial lesson content into our core course in core maintenance, and help our students start to think about, some students may decide that all this math is not for me, but I really would like, I'm okay at math, and I'd like to maybe do a hands-on job. And electricians are in demand, and the pay is great. So we're starting them off there, looking at possibly being an electrician. So they can get a little start in our core maintenance course here that we show at the top left of this chart, right? So just learning basic things about maintenance, and some of the basic math and using tools and that kind of thing. And we're looking at adding a little bit of electricity into that course. That's the Electrical 1 IBEW that we're looking at doing, and this starting to come online. And then we piloted that material this year along with this Electrical 2. We started piloting that material this year, and we're going to have all that up and running full speed next year. And that's where they really can really get into, it's called Electrical Level 1 from NCCER, and they can earn industry-based certifications, IBCs, in these courses. And really walk out of high school, ready to apprentice in an electrical trade and make some money. I actually had a student who sent me a message this past week, made my week. He got on at Firebond as an electrician's apprentice, and he was in our first class here. This still is this semester. We've just gone online, so we already have an apprentice electrician out of the program. So it's a neat little program for students who might decide, I like the technical and the hands-on, but maybe not the calculus that goes with it. And then the instrumentation and control takes a little further. It gets into a bit more theory, a bit more math, a bit more in circuits. But again, a field that's just booming and is just really in demand. They're just asking us, and that's why Louisiana Tech came to us. It's why the National Science Foundation gave them the grant. It's because companies need technical people, technical personnel that can do the kind of work that's required to manage instrumentation and control systems in all kinds of factories, refineries, right, you name it, basically in any business that builds something. So that's why we got into this program. If you're not familiar with instrumentation and control, the basic idea is you've got, I'm going to start at the bottom, right? You've got motors and valves and things you need to control. And you've got it, and to control them, you need to sense things like pressure and temperature, volume, that kind of thing. And based on sensing, you control a process, and you do that with computers, programmable logic controllers that then get programmed to manage operations in facilities. And so we try to give our students a really good introduction into all of that, and it helps them break into that field. And there are programs locally through schools like Bossier Parish Community College, and as well as regionally like Tech's 4-year program. So a lot of options there as far as continued training when they get out of BIPSTEL. All right, in fact, there we go, BIPSI, Bossier Parish Community College. These are some of the areas that students might go into learning this type of technology. I showed it earlier. We showed earlier that didn't stop and talk about it. But as far as a roadmap, you may or may not be aware that students can get their first 2 years of engineering school at BIPSI with a program that is basically the same 2 years freshmen get at Louisiana Tech. They have this agreement. They work together. They share the same program as far as teaching program, and can be a money-saving thing and a good thing for students who are trying to check it out. They can get that first 2 years at BIPSI, and then go on and finish up at Louisiana Tech in engineering. As far as the instrumentation, industrial technology, they've got a number of programs at Bossier Parish Community College that you see there that students might want to go off into with this kind of training. Northwest Louisiana Technical College also has programs, again, from electrician through industrial instrumentation. And Louisiana Delta is, as I mentioned earlier, the partner with Tech that's helped to put together the program we're using. They have a number of programs. I believe they're in the same system as Bossier Parish Community College, so they can basically articulate classes and that kind of thing. And that this course gives students actually 6 credit hours, two full courses worth of credit at Louisiana Delta Community College, and they can also use that credit for a 3-hour course at Tech if they decide to go to that instrumentation program. So just a program that we're supporting because there's such a strong need out there in industry for it.
Can I jump in? Do y'all mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is Miss Fillers again. And parents, I want you to know that was a lot of information, and I don't want you to get very overwhelmed with, oh my goodness, there's so many paths, and there are, and it's very wonderful. Those that are coming in as freshmen, we're going to look at the project Lead the Way, getting them off the ground. And those that are more advanced, yes, like your 11th and 12th graders, they have lots of options there, starting in Project Lead the Way or going into the electrical or instrumentation course. So that's another reason Miss Plants is here as well. She will help guide you and your student into which course would be the best way and help you with the progression so you have an idea of what each year looks like. So don't think you're out there floundering going, I don't know what to do. That's what we're here to help you, and we will individualize with your students. So I hope that helps you not feel as overwhelmed, and know we hold your hand and we will take you through this.
Yes, and we all of our emails are up here on the screen as far as mine and Mr. Nelson's if you have any questions, and also Miss Plants. If your student is planning to do engineering coming up in the fall and they have not applied using the BIPSTL application, you can find that at our website, and they do need to be logged in with their school Gmail account. Log in there and fill out that application, and also let their counselor know, their 9th grade counselor know, that they want to take the classes. But if you guys have any questions, we can ask those, kind of open it up to ask those, unmute yourself and ask a question. We're happy to answer anything you guys have.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
I may not have heard this correctly when you were going over it, but you said that in the POE course, that's the 10th grade course?
Yes.
The engineering class also counts for their physical science credit. Does the 9th grade part of the engineering count for anything?
No, the 9th grade is an elective. The intro to engineering counts as an elective, and then they get their math credit for geometry. And in 10th grade, principles of engineering counts for the physical science credit, and then they get their algebra 2 credit.